the side there, and so do go talk to her and see her at her table. Let's have a little bit of a chat with Rachel here on stage, who's going to talk to us about Cascade, which is her debut novel. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you came all the way from Toronto.
I did, yeah. This is the first time I've been back in Ottawa in about 10 years, and it's really lovely to be here.
Well, we're so happy to have you here with us. I love the cover of your book. Can you please tell us about the stories that are inside?
Absolutely. So Cascade is my debut novel. It's the first in the Sleep of Reason trilogy. It's fantasy sci-fi about climate change, climate catastrophe, cosmic horror, and Ottawa politics. So there's a little bit of a local twist to it.
I'm intrigued. Where did you get the inspiration for this book? And actually, I'm seeing the Peace Tower right here on the side. Love it.
Yeah, so I've been involved in politics from about as early as I can remember, going to protests and being dragged along doing door-to-door campaigning. And I'm always on the losing side of it. So I thought, if only I could wave a magic wand and make people understand compassion and reason. And so I wrote a book where people try and do that, and it doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well, but this is the first of a trilogy, so if you don't like the ending, stay tuned, there is more to come.
Yes, please tell me, there is a chance for compassion and empathy in this world.
Always. I get accused of sometimes being a little bit grim and depressing, but there is also a lot of humor in the book and hope for a better future.
Now, you mentioned that it's the first of a trilogy. I'm curious about your process as an author. At which point do you know that your one book is actually 3 books and not 4 and 10? And how does that work?
So this started out being one book, and when I hit about 140,000 words, I realized that it wasn't going to be one book, and sat down and started thinking about structure and how I was going to divide the big events in the plot, and I thought about doing a duology, but that's not really common in fantasy. It's usually the rule of 3, so I went for a trilogy, and hopefully I will be able to get it done in 3.
Who would you say is your audience? Who are the people who are just going to devour this book and just can't wait for the other one to come out?
I would say anybody who's a political buff, so some of the people that maybe you're talking to as you campaign, and anybody who loves magic, fell in love with fantasy as a child and is now an adult and looking for how those bits of magic and wonder and mystery work with a more mature worldview.
That is amazing. Now, you mentioned the word magic a few times, and I look at your dress and I think that's magical. I love it. This is a creative person who has a way with words and clearly a way with fashion.
That makes 2 of us, I guess.
Thank you. We've got dinosaur themes on stage here. So please tell us about your dress, because I absolutely love it.
Yeah, this is from one of those obscure little Toronto stores. I can't even remember the name, and it's long gone out of business. But actually, I did buy it right before second last time I was in Ottawa for a friend's wedding. So it's actually been in the city before.
It's amazing. I love it, and it's a plug for buying local, supporting local artists.
Plus, it has pockets.
Amazing. Mine too. Dresses with pockets for the win. Ooh, if we have any designers who are here, remember to always put pockets in your dresses.
Absolutely.
Rachel, is there anything else you would like to tell us about your book, about your work as an author?
Yeah, so I would encourage everybody to stop by the Bumble Puppy Press booth, which is at the front. We've got my book, we've got my chapbook, so I also wrote a prequel that's set 20 years before the events of the story. It's illustrated by a good friend of mine. We've also got Carl Dow's historical fiction, Black Grass, in his first collection of short stories. The Bubble Puppy Press is a local publisher. They're really fantastic, little press, quality books, a lot of exciting things coming up next year as well. And if you would just like to chat about disaster wizards, Ottawa politics, the climate catastrophe, eco-fiction, anything that you like, dresses with pockets, swing by.
So go visit Rachel Rosen at her table. Go chat about her book Cascade, about her chapbook So Human As I Am. And I just want to read two of the reviews that are here on the back of her book. Relentlessly radical and often hilarious, Cascade will change the way you look at magic and the state forever. This is from Nick Mamatas, who's the author of The Second Shooter, and also Brian Theobora, the author of Before We Remember We Dream, said that this book was sharp and thought-provoking, with thrilling moments and crackling with compelling ideas. I wouldn't miss this one. You shouldn't miss it either. Go visit Rachel. Allez visiter Rachel Rosen à sa table qui est en arrière. Thank you so much for joining us on the stage.
Thank you so much, Jolene, and good luck with your campaign.
Thank you.